Everybody knows that trees and plants usually have green leaves. But have you ever wondered why leaves turn different colors in the fall? Join Pascha and Goose on a walk in the mountains as they discover all the different colors of leaves. This is Grand Teton National Park in Wyoming. A national park is a special place where nature is protected. This means people can't build houses there, so everyone can enjoy the trees, mountains, and animals. Like this beautiful caterpillar that Pascha found, or this thundering river by the trail. Nature is beautiful, and Pascha knows that it's worthy of protection. When they first started their walk, Goose and Pascha saw a lot of green trees and plants. The reason the leaves are green is because they have chlorophyll inside. Whoa, that's a big word. Can you say that with us? Chlorophyll. Chlorophyll is what makes the leaves green. It also has a very special job capturing sunlight and turning it into food. You know how the food you eat gives you energy? Well, plants are the same, but they get their energy from sunlight. When the seasons change from summer to fall, the days get shorter because there's less sunlight. This means that the leaves have less chlorophyll. So, the leaves turn yellow, orange, and red. This happens to all types of trees and plants. Even this fern, called a fracken. When the leaves run out of chlorophyll, it becomes weak and falls to the ground. But that's okay. That doesn't mean the plant has died. It will grow back in the spring, when the sun comes back out, and the days become warmer, and the cycle starts all over again. Can you guess where Robin and DJ Ducky are? They're at a pumpkin patch. There are so many different sizes and colors of pumpkins here. Look, this orange pumpkin is huge, and there's even a scarecrow. This white pumpkin is shaped like an oval, while this yellow pumpkin is shaped like a circle. Whoa, this orange pumpkin is shaped like a pear. Robin can't decide which one she likes best, the orange one or the yellow one. Maybe the white one that matches her tutu. What's that over there? Robin spots a bouncy house decorated with corn. And there's a lot of blow-up pumpkins inside. DJ Ducky jumps around in the bouncy house. Whee! And then he finds a really cute pumpkin. This is such a cool pumpkin patch. As Robin and DJ Ducky look out beyond, Robin spots a maze with a big corn in the middle. DJ Ducky races to the center and turns left, because there's a big wall on the right side. Robin runs in after him, but he's nowhere to be seen. Well, let's go find him. Meanwhile, he's getting closer to the center with every turn he takes. Could it be this way? Do you think he'll get there first? Robin is still chasing after DJ Ducky, and she finds herself at a dead end. She should probably turn around. At this moment, DJ Ducky looks up, and he won! He made it to the big corn. Robin is still lost, trying to find her way to the center, when finally she looks up, and there it is, the big corn. Can you believe how tall this blow-up corn is? No wonder it's the center of the maze. Robin and DJ Ducky had such a good time exploring the bouncy house and seeing all the different types of pumpkins. To celebrate Earth Day, Red and Robin decide to spend time appreciating nature. So they visit a neighborhood pond with a waterfall. There's nothing better than relaxing to the sound of water. Look, Robin found this beautiful white flower. This is called the calla lily. These flowers grow best at the edge of a pond, like this one. When Robin looked around the waterfall, she found the same white flower, but the petals were turning brown. This flower has started to decompose. Whoa, that's a big word. It means that it can break down and become dirt. So Robin puts the flower back where she found it, where it belongs in nature. Then Robin finds these small brown leaves that are also decomposing. These leaves used to be green when they were alive, but now they're drying out and breaking down. Do you see anything in the dirt that started decomposing? That's right, this twig that used to be part of a tree will break down to become dirt. When flowers, leaves, and twigs, like this one, decompose, it becomes food for future plants. That's what makes nature so amazing. When plants die, they don't just disappear. They go back into the circle of life. And ponds like this one can stay green for a long time, becoming a home for animals like these two turtles that Red saw swimming in the pond. Red and Robin know how important it is to leave nature how they found it. That's why Red puts the twig back in the dirt so it can become food for future plants. And the turtle even came over to Red to say thank you. What a special Earth Day! Hooray! Pascha is at the playground. She's on a scavenger hunt for shapes, like this one.
It's a circle! Let's find some shapes today.
Pascha looks around for more shapes. And it looks like Goose came along too. But shh, keep it a secret. She's on a mission to hide all these shapes without being seen by Pascha. Let's hide something here. Goose brings out the first shape. Where should Goose put it? How about down here? Uh-oh, Pascha's coming.
What's this? It's a square. It has 4 sides.
Quick, before Pascha gets here, Goose puts another shape against the wall and skateboards away.
Let's keep looking. What's this? It's a triangle. It has 3 sides.
Looks like Goose is pretty good at being sneaky. Now for the next shape. This looks like a good spot. Oh no, Pascha's coming. Time to go.
Wow! What shape is this? It's a pentagon. It has 5 sides.
Ooh, look at these cute turtles. Whee! Let's give this one a little hat. Do you think Pascha will notice? Here she comes.
Let's look for shapes.
Time to go.
They're all around us. I see one. What shape is this? It's a
What a fun scavenger hunt! And Pascha never knew that Goose was behind it all. She shoots and scores! Uh-oh! The ball is stuck in the hoop. There's only one egg who can fix this problem. Goose heads to the gadget gallery to ask Red for help. Looks like they're busy tinkering. But seeing how upset Goose is, Red stops what they are doing to help their friend. Then, Red grabs some tools to help fix the hoop. Goose carries the ladder and leads the way back to the court. After seeing the problem, Red puts the ladder against the backboard and climbs to the top. Then, Red pushes the ball down, out of the hoop. Next, they take the old hoop off, because it's too small, and bring it down the ladder. It's time to build a new hoop. Luckily, Red knows a lot about geometry. Whoa, that's a big word. Goose has never heard that word before. Geometry is the study of shapes, and it can help Red fix Goose's hoop. Did you know that adding one more side to a triangle makes a square? That means Red can make a new hoop using parts from the old one. By opening one corner and adding one more side, Red makes a square. It's that easy. Now, all Goose has to do is test that the basketball won't get stuck. She puts the ball through the hoop, and it's good. However, being an engineer, Red knows how important it is to double-check. So they test it out one more time. There. Now it's ready to install. Woohoo! Red climbs up the ladder and puts in the new square hoop. All done. Goose shoots, and she scores! She thanks her friend and helps Red carry their tools back to the gadget gallery. Thanks to Red, Goose's basketball will never get stuck again.
It's time to name the planets in order from the sun. There are 8 in total. Let's remember them by singing: Mercury, Venus, Earth, Mars, Jupiter, Saturn, Uranus, Neptune. Mercury's the closest to the sun, smallest planet of them all, hardly bigger than our moon. Venus' temperature's the hottest, shine bright into the night, named after a goddess. Earth is enormous, the blue planet full of water creatures too. We gotta take care of it. Mars is the red planet that away, rocky, full of dusty souls I'd like to visit it one day. Jupiter's the biggest one by far, mostly gas, no surface. It's got a big red spot. Saturn is a big old cold gassy ball, the huge rings around it, and the most moons of them all. Uranus is the coldest you will find, super windy, sideways spinning, a big old blue ice giant. Neptune's the furthest planet from the sun. Uranus is twin, supersonic wind, another blue ice giant. It's time to name the planets.
Have you ever noticed that the moon changes shapes? That's because it travels around Earth in an orbit. An orbit is like a train track in space. Let's play a fun game with Robin to understand the moon's different shapes. First, get a lamp and take off its shade. This will be the sun, giving off a bright light. Then, grab a foam ball and stick a pencil in the bottom. This will be the moon that reflects the light of the sun. Now, hold up the moon so it blocks the sun. Notice that you can't see it because it's too dark. This is called the new moon. When the moon starts its orbit, you'll see a glowing edge like a banana. This is called the crescent moon. As the moon keeps moving, it looks like half a cookie. This is called the first quarter moon. Now, when it's almost a full circle, it's called the gibbous moon. And finally, halfway through its orbit, the moon becomes a full moon, where you can see the whole circle. After the full moon, it goes through the same cycle, but on the other side, from the gibbous moon to the third quarter moon, and then a crescent moon, and finally, the new moon. And that is how the moon plays hide and seek with the sun while orbiting the Earth. Next time you look up at the night sky, see if you can tell what shape the moon is. Ready? 1, 2, 3. Red and Pascha made their very own stomp rocket. Let's see how they did it. First, Pascha made the rocket out of paper and tape. She asked a grown-up to cut a rectangle out of the paper and wrapped it around a straw. She used tape to make a tube and then removed the straw. Then she asked the grown-up to cut out a circle and also cut out a piece shaped like a pie. She made a cone for the top of the rocket and taped it to the tube. That's how you make the rocket. Make sure it fits perfectly in the straw. To make the rocket launcher, Red used a big straw and a juice box. After drinking all the juice, Red took out the bendy straw. Then the grown-up cut the big straw at an angle so that it will fit inside the juice box. All done. Back in the garden, Pascha has her rocket ready to test. She wants to launch it towards Saturn, the 6th planet from the sun. Red decides to launch from the top of the stairs. To prepare for launch, blow into the juice box to fill it with air and aim it towards your destination. Red is getting ready by putting the rocket into the rocket launcher. They try and stomp down as hard as they can, but Red is not strong enough. Red knows that a small egg doesn't have enough power to launch the rocket. But a kid like you could stomp on the rocket and get it all the way to Saturn. 3, 2, 1. Blast off! Woohoo! Goose and DJ Ducky are racing balloon rockets. Let's see how they did it and find out who wins. To set up the racetrack, they took 2 drying racks and put them across the room from each other. Goose brought 2 straws and 2 different colored balloons. DJ Ducky brought 2 different colored clothespins and the string. He took the string and tied it to the top part of the drying rack, making sure to make a double knot. Then he put the string through the straw and pulled it all the way through, and tied it to the other drying rack across the room, double knotting to make it secure. DJ Ducky did the same thing with another piece of string and another straw, completing the racetrack. All done. Next, DJ Ducky blew up his red balloon and closed it with a red clothespin. He wrote his name on the balloon rocket and decorated it with music notes because he loves music. It looks fantastic. Then Goose blew up her gold balloon and closed it with the yellow clothespin. This makes sure that air doesn't escape the balloon. Goose wrote her name and drew stars on her balloon rocket. For the final step, they used tape to attach the balloons to the straws and got ready to race. Who do you think will win, DJ Ducky or Goose? Let's find out. Remove the clothespin and blast off. Let's see that a little bit slower. Looks like Goose won. That's because her balloon was bigger and had more air in it, making it go faster. Try this at home with different balloon sizes and see what happens. The golf ball sinks in the fresh water, but it floats in the salt water. Find out why with Red and Goose. Red and Goose have always wondered why some things float while others sink. They've done experiments before, but today they're learning about salt water. To start, Red and Goose fill up 2 glasses with fresh water from the sink. When Goose puts a blueberry in both glasses of water, both blueberries sink. That's because the water has the same density. Whoa, that's a new word. Density measures how much stuff is packed into a certain space. Let's put some salt into one of the glasses. The scientific name for salt is sodium chloride. Can you say that with me? Sodium chloride. After mixing the salt into the water, it has more density because there's more stuff inside. Let's label the 2 glasses so we know which one is fresh water and which one is salt water. What do you think will happen when we put the blueberries in the water now? That's interesting. The blueberry now floats in the salt water. That's because the salt water has more stuff packed into it, helping the blueberry stay on the surface instead of sinking down to the bottom. Will the same thing happen with this wooden block? It floats in fresh water, and it floats in salt water. This happens because the wooden block has less density than the fresh water and the salt water, so it floats in both. What do you think will happen with this metal car? Let's try it out. It sinks in the fresh water, and it also sinks in the salt water. That's because metal has a higher density than fresh water and salt water, so it sinks in both. Try experimenting at home, like Red and Goose did, to see how salt changes water density. Collect some salt, water, and small objects to observe what floats and what sinks. Whoa! Pascha made her very own blow-up pufferfish. Let's see how she did it. Pascha was almost done making a wonderful water world to explore when she realized something was missing. After adding the last piece of seaweed and the pretty red crab, she noticed that there was no pufferfish, so she asked Red to help her make one. This project is gonna be messy, so first lay down a towel. You'll need white vinegar, baking soda, yellow food coloring, sandwich bags, and markers for coloring. Make sure to have a grown-up help you with this project. Let's start by drawing a pufferfish on the sandwich bag, using the markers. Pascha, being the artist, draws the pufferfish, and it looks so good. Then, Red asks a grown-up to pour vinegar into the bag, making sure not to touch it. It's stinky and strong. Once the bag is half full, Pascha puts in yellow food coloring to make it a nice bright color. Excitedly, Pascha closes the bag and lays it flat. It doesn't look like a pufferfish at all. That's okay. Red knows the last step to making the fish puff up. Pour a small amount of baking soda into a bowl. With the help of a grown-up, use a spoon to add a little bit of baking soda into the sandwich bag. When baking soda and vinegar mix, they create a chemical reaction, and suddenly, the pufferfish does blow up. Pascha is thrilled. Try making your own pufferfish at home, and make sure to have a grown-up help you. Ready? 1, 2, 3. Red and Pascha made their very own stomp rocket. Let's see how they did it. First, Pascha made the rocket out of paper and tape. She asked a grown-up to cut a rectangle out of the paper and wrapped it around a straw. She used tape to make a tube and then removed the straw. Then she asked the grown-up to cut out a circle and also cut out a piece shaped like a pie. She made a cone for the top of the rocket and taped it to the tube. That's how you make the rocket. Make sure it fits perfectly in the straw. To make the rocket launcher, Red used a big straw and a juice box. After drinking all the juice, Red took out the bendy straw. Then the grown-up cut the big straw at an angle so that it will fit inside the juice box. All done. Back in the garden, Pascha has her rocket ready to test. She wants to launch it towards Saturn, the 6th planet from the Sun. Red decides to launch from the top of the stairs. To prepare for launch, blow into the juice box to fill it with air and aim it towards your destination. Red is getting ready by putting the rocket into the rocket launcher. They try and stomp down as hard as they can, but Red is not strong enough. Red knows that a small egg doesn't have enough power to launch the rocket. But a kid like you could stomp on the rocket and get it all the way to Saturn. Have you ever noticed that the moon changes shapes? That's because it travels around Earth in an orbit. An orbit is like a train track in space. Let's play a fun game with Robin to understand the moon's different shapes. First, get a lamp and take off its shade. This will be the sun, giving off a bright light. Then, grab a foam ball and stick a pencil in the bottom. This will be the moon that reflects the light of the sun. Now, hold up the moon so it blocks the sun. Notice that you can't see it because it's too dark. This is called the new moon. When the moon starts its orbit, you'll see a glowing edge like a banana. This is called the crescent moon. As the moon keeps moving, it looks like half a cookie. This is called the first quarter moon. Now, when it's almost a full circle, it's called the gibbous moon. And finally, halfway through its orbit, the moon becomes a full moon, where you can see the whole circle. After the full moon, it goes through the same cycle, but on the other side, from the gibbous moon to the third quarter moon, and then a crescent moon, and finally, the new moon. And that is how the moon plays hide and seek with the sun while orbiting the Earth. Next time you look up at the night sky, see if you can tell what shape the moon is.